When we think of business success stories, we often focus on the unicorns, companies that rose rapidly and made history. But just as important, if not more, are the stories of businesses that aimed high but stumbled along the way. One such story is that of Ask Me Bazaar, a once promising Indian e-commerce platform that set out to bring the spirit of local markets to the online world. Backed by strong funding and a bold vision, Ask Me Bazaar grew rapidly and captured wide attention. Yet, in just a few years, it collapsed under the weight of its own ambition and mismanagement. Today, we are not just talking about Ask Me Bazaar to recount a failure. We are talking about it to understand the crucial lessons hidden within. Why did a company with so much potential fall so quickly? In this video, we will explore the journey of Ask Me Bazaar, highlighting not just its rise and fall, but timeless business lessons that every entrepreneur can take away from its story. After all, in the world of business, learning from others' mistake is often the most powerful strategy for long-term success. So, let's get into it. Ask Me Bazaar was one of the most ambitious ventures in India's early e-commerce wave, aiming to revolutionize the way small and medium businesses connected with consumers. The company was launched in 2012 by Getit Infomedia, that was already well known for its business listing services. Recognizing the booming potential of the internet economy, Getit decided to pivot into online commerce by providing a platform where local merchants could list their products for a nationwide audience. Ask Me Bazaar positioned itself as the online Indian bazaar, attempting to bring the charm and diversity of traditional markets to a digital platform. This vision strongly resonated with many sellers who were otherwise unable to reach customers outside their local geographies. In its early years, Ask Me Bazaar grew rapidly. Around 2014, Getit Infomedia rebranded its consumer-facing services under the broader Ask Me brand, creating a more cohesive identity across different verticals like AskMe.com, Ask Me Furniture, Ask Me Grocery, and of course, Ask Me Bazaar. The company focused aggressively on onboarding small businesses, offering them free listings and logistic support. Unlike Amazon or Flipkart, which typically involved inventory-heavy models, Ask Me Bazaar functioned on a marketplace model. It was essentially a platform that connected buyers and sellers without holding stock itself. This helped it reduce operational costs and scale faster in different cities. Moreover, it created an opportunity for small merchants who lacked digital literacy and infrastructure to ride the wave of India's e-commerce boom. One of the key factors behind Ask Me Bazaar's initial success was its focus on hyperlocal commerce. While most big e-commerce companies focused on metro cities and high-value customers, Ask Me Bazaar penetrated smaller cities and towns, bringing on board a wide array of sellers offering everything from handicrafts to furniture. By 2015, the platform had expanded its services to include next-day delivery in several cities, adding another layer of convenience for customers. It had also diversified into groceries and furniture, seeing these categories as relatively less competitive and promising high growth. With an impressive merchant base of over 80,000 sellers and daily transactions reportedly worth $1 million, the company was well on its way to becoming a serious challenger to established players. Financial backing played a major role in fueling Ask Me Bazaar's expansion. Malaysia-based Astro Holding, a major investor, pumped over rupees 800 crore, around $120 million into the venture. The funding allowed Ask Me Bazaar to acquire other companies like Mabelcart and Best at Lowest, broadening its product categories and customer appeal. The management also envisioned transforming Ask Me Bazaar into a billion-dollar valuation company, with aggressive targets for merchant onboarding and customer acquisition. However, despite its early success, cracks begin to appear within Ask Me Bazaar's business model. Think about this. What happens when a company grows too fast without strengthening its roots? One major issue was the company's heavy reliance on investor funding rather than building a sustainable revenue stream. While scaling rapidly, Ask Me Bazaar was spending aggressively on marketing, logistics, and vendor management, often without commensurate returns. This growth at all costs strategy worked well in the short term, creating an illusion of success. But as we all know, illusions don't last forever. This hyperlocal model, while visionary, was also difficult to execute consistently across different regions, given India's logistical and infrastructural challenges. By mid 2016, financial pressure came to a head. Imagine waking up one morning to realize the money that fuels your business has simply vanished. Astro Holdings, the principal investor, decided to pull back its financial support, citing unsustainable operations and internal issues. A proposed management buyout failed, and the company's cash flow dried up almost overnight. Without sufficient capital to continue daily operations, Ask Me Bazaar had no choice but to suspend its activities. Around 4,000 employees lost their jobs, and thousands of vendors were left unpaid, with pending dues reportedly amounting to Rs 100 to 150 crore. The downfall of Ask Me Bazaar was as swift as its rise. The management accused Astro Holdings of abandoning the company at a critical moment, while Astro, in its defense, stated that business was insolvent and poorly managed. Plans for a forensic audit of Get It Infomedia finances were announced. It's a classic case of he said, she said, but amid the finger pointing, the real damage was already done. What became clear through this entire episode was that while Ask Me Bazaar had a compelling vision, it lacked financial discipline and operational efficiency. The story of Ask Me Bazaar offers important lessons for India's startup ecosystem. Here's something every aspiring entrepreneur should remember. While the speed of scaling is important, startups must not overlook building a financially sustainable model. This story shows how having a brilliant idea and heavy funding isn't enough. Without strategic execution and financial discipline, even the most promising ventures can crash. First and foremost, scaling must be sustainable. Ask Me Bazaar scaled at a breathtaking pace, expanding to multiple cities, adding new categories like groceries and furniture, and onboarding thousands of sellers. Chasing growth without strengthening the fundamentals like unit economics, cash flows, and customer satisfaction is like building a skyscraper on sand. Growing too fast without a strong foundation can make a business dangerously fragile. Secondly, overdependence on investors is a risky strategy. Ask Me Bazaar leaned heavily on Astro Holdings to fund its operations. When Astro pulled the plug, the company had no fallback plan. A wise entrepreneur knows that external funding should be a growth accelerator, not a lifeline. It is crucial to build a business model that can eventually stand on its own legs. Diversifying funding sources and focusing on profitability early on provides much needed stability during rough times. Another key lesson is the importance of managing operations and logistics smartly. Ask Me Bazaar ventured aggressively into hyperlocal delivery and next day services. But handling logistics in a country as complex as India proved challenging. Operational issues, delays, and inconsistencies eroded customer trust. No matter how exciting your product or platform is, if the delivery experience falls short, the customer loyalty quickly fades. Lastly, transparency and governance also stand out as major takeaways. When financial trouble hit, acquisitions flew between Ask Me Bazaar's management and investors. Had there been greater transparency, stronger governance structures, and open communication channels, the damage could have been minimized. Business owners should instill a culture of clear reporting, ethical practices, and open dialogue with stakeholders to build trust that can withstand adversity. Ask Me Bazaar's journey is a reminder that ambition needs to be balanced with foresight. Building a business isn't just about bold dreams and big spending. It's about laying bricks carefully, ensuring each one is stronger enough to hold the next. The big question we should ask ourselves is, are we building businesses that can survive without constant outside help? For every business owner, the message is clear. Focus on sustainable growth, financial independence, operational excellence, and customer centricity. Only then can a dream grow into something that lasts.